She's a real business person. She's got a mind for this. She knows what she's doing. Sure. Doth protest too much, Bill.
So go ahead.
Did anybody say she was running the sports information department at North Carolina? No. Come on. That is a typical Bill Belichick, disingenuous, try and deflect, try and pivot it this way. Nobody said she was putting together the stat sheet for North Carolina football that gets handed out to the media and the student broadcasters and the student radio station. Come on.
It's Hour 2, Agenda Free Friday, brought to you by Catches Law. Felger Mazz brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook on 98.5 The Sports Hub. The simulcast brought to you by Supercuts on NBC Sports Boston. Big Jim Murray, Matt McCarthy alongside. I come to you remotely today. So Pablo Torre doing some phenomenal work, just really digging into the Belichick, Jordon Hudson thing, to the point of, when no one around here thought to do it, he went to the place, I was going to say shack, whatever, the place where they were shacking up in Winthrop. That's what I meant to say. Where the infamous ring camera of Belichick walking out of the front door, shirtless, that was Jordon Hudson's place. Or it turns out it was an Airbnb, Murray?
Yes, yeah, it was an Airbnb, and Pablo Torre has been able to track down the Airbnb owners.
So they rented out or whatever an Airbnb there in Winthrop. Pablo Torre went to the Airbnb and met with the owners and talked to the owners and interviewed the owners. And we have some more material on that. And we'll start with Jimmy. Hit number 3, if you can. And do we have their names? Do we just set it up any further? This is a man and a wife who own the building, right?
That's correct, yes.
Go
I don't
ahead.
know what their names are.
We saw the ring video in the morning, not knowing who this was, but it was an older gentleman with a very young woman who checked in the night before, and a car parked where it said no parking was like worrisome to us that this is going to shut us down. We need to make sure that they know a registered guest cannot.
She said, she's with this creepy old guy. It's either her relative or a drug dealer. It was the first thing because of the age discrepancy. Remember, you go, must be a freaking coke dealer. And I was like, what?
It was crazy.
So that was her first reaction. And then I started looking. I'm like, that does look like Belichick. And then I saw the walk and the hunch he had, because they were doing OTAs, so he had the farmer's tan going. The sun was just coming up. It's probably 6 o'clock. We were legitimately worried about her because she booked for 4 nights or something.
5 nights.
5 nights, and she was here that one night with him. And we didn't see her again. And we looked in the window like nobody came. Like, who books and doesn't come? It was a beautiful.
No more.
The weather was beautiful. Like we never saw her once.
Yeah, there
come
were
or go.
no more ring videos of her coming and going. So when it came Saturday evening, it was time to say, "Hey, here are the checkout instructions."
Right. But at first we thought she was like a dancer or an escort. I mean, I was like, she could be freaking dead.
As the week went on, we were thinking that
because
she was an escort or something.
Because she had multiple, like, she said she was a dancer, and like it was just something was off about it. You know, like it just didn't make sense.
You know, that guy is my hero.
He is.
Oh, he's tremendous.
He is straight out of Winthrop Central Casting. He is a delight. I thought he was like a drug dealer. And she said she was a dancer. She asked about Danvers. I played that clip earlier. What's up in Danvers? The banana. Maybe she does the wraparound. She goes to the cabaret. And then she goes to the Squire. She said she's a dancer. I love him. He's a delight.
Or a coke dealer?
Yeah. I mean, he's like some kind of coke dealer. She said she was a dancer. Oh.
I'll tell you, it's great. Like, because I had heard that the reason he was out there, boobs out, in the first place is that he was parking people in and they were honking at him. So I don't know if that's exactly, they said he was parked illegally. That's what it was. He was parking in the wrong spot. And either they were honking their horn or they came to get him. It's like, you can't park there. And he's like, huh, what?
Yeah. Waking up sticky, drunk, and confused.
That's what that was. But it was during OTAs, Murray, right?
Yeah, sure was. So that's a guy, again, do your job. Everything's about the team. All of the lip service that we've got from Bill Belichick. And look, it did apply when they were winning, but towards the end, it was all a crock. You were half-assing it like the rest of us in America at their jobs. Like, come on. Like, it's just one big lie. And that, he's tainting his legacy with that. Like, the end here, the more that this the onion unpeels, the more it stinks. You realize he was just resting on his laurels and just living off his name at that point. Those last few years, he was mailing it in.
Yeah, as great and as juicy as this story is, and only continues to get, and it will continue to get better. This, I think we all understand, will not end well. That's kind of the underlying story of this. That's the sports angle of it, right? This is why Bill Belichick is not in the NFL. Mike, you said this to me last summer. You said NFL teams are probably looking at Belichick and saying, we don't want to bring this guy in part because of the 24-year-old girlfriend, which I thought was crazy at the time, given, what NFL owners are involved in. I said, they're not going to hold that against him. Oh, no, they're going to hold it against him because it's this. It's this type of circus. It's not the fact that he's dating a 24-year-old. It's the fact that all of this is going on around it. The age, in some ways, it's a part of the story, but it's kind of irrelevant. It's the sideshow that the whole thing has become that has very little to do with the age at this point.
Okay, so not that I could have predicted any of these specific details, Matt, but let me tell you, when a man his age is dating someone that age, it's a circus. It's something ain't right.
Yeah, people are going to think you're a coke dealer.
Well, no, but right. It's just a matter of what the specific details are. But let me just tell you, any girl who looks like that, who dates someone that age, it's bad news, man. And the only question is, what specific details are we going to uncover and find out that are bad? But whatever they are, it's bad news.
Yeah, but the specific details, I think, do matter here. It's the fact that she's obviously controlling this situation behind the scenes. She's involved in this. OTAs. He's slumming around Winthrop doing whatever the hell he's doing. Like that. It's that part of it. It's not just you're going to look at it side-eyed and say, what's this 24-year-old girl doing with this, 75-year-old man, and that's creepy and all that. Don't get me wrong, there's an element of that, but when you actually dig into the details, as Pablo Torre is doing here, you understand why no employer, no NFL team would want anything to do with this, because the circus it's affecting North Carolina, and it's going to affect his professional performance, as it clearly was, given what he was doing during OTAs.
Yeah, your dedication to your craft and job is not what it was 5-10 years ago. You're now kind of a washed-up slob living off your name.
He lost it.
Yeah, completely.
He lost. And look, I think there's always been a thing with him and women. And I'll say no more than that. This ain't new. But there's
dances?
I don't know. Obviously, this feels like a whole nother level of what the hell, Bill. And it's just, the guy lost it. He just completely lost it. And it affected the team at the end. It's just...
Oh, it totally did.
It's so obvious now. The decision-making, it seems to make more sense. Someone who's carrying on like that, of course he would bring in Patricia and that makes perfect sense because he's just...
Well, and also,
he just
Mike,
lost it.
If you were a player that maybe was on Bill's poop list here the last couple of seasons, or that year that he's sneaking her into the hotel room or whatever the hell that optic looks like during the OTAs and during training camp, and you've gotten in trouble and there's been infractions in terms of being a few minutes late, you're like, you hypocrite a-hole, and you're not going to end up working as hard for a guy like that if you think he's not walking the walk.
Definitely,
you know what I'm saying?
Definitely, Murray. Absolutely. If you don't have faith in the guy, if you look at this guy, this guy's out to lunch.
Yeah.
Where's this guy's head at? Yes, that shakes your belief in the guy and your foundation, all of it. Yes, of course that impacts everything. And I think it impacted everything with Bill Belichick. I guess we have one more from these two, the background of the owners. Jimmy, number one, please.
What's your relationship to this place?
We lived here. We rented this unit for about a year in 2022, and then we bought it in May of 2023.
And you guys are sports fans?
Big time.
Yeah. Cowboys,
Patriots.
but it works.
Yeah, Pats.
Big sports fans.
Yeah. Big time. I knew it was OTAs.
I knew it was Belichick.
Cowboys, Pats.
Pats. Felger's a loser. FGO Sports Hub guys. Sell to the balls.
That's awesome.